Hey, Dutch here. In today's video, I'm doing a response video to a tag I was in from Jason from Big Bear Homestead. He got tagged by Brad from Off Grid with Brad and Kelly, and they started a video going around that what would survive longer? Who would survive longer? A survivalist slash prepper or a homesteader when the crap hits the fan? So, and then they also asked a couple questions. How did you get started in your lifestyle? Did you start survivalism first slash prepping, or did you start homestead first and then you seen the good in homesteading and then start prepping for if crap hits the fan? So I'll answer those for you guys, and then I'll do a couple tags myself. Okay. All right, for me, I started I guess you might say survivalism. I joined the Marine Corps when I was 19 years old. I served one duty of that, and then I did a tour over in Iraq, and I guess that's how I started survivalism. Because when I went overseas, it really opened my eyes to the fallen world that we live in today, and I seen the sin that's corrupt our world, and I seen the urgency for prepping, for survivalism. And so that you might say that's how I got started. I started doing when I got out of the Marine Corps, came back, I started doing long-term food storage. I started doing water supplies, just do preps like that for situations, not just for like war situations or for a grid going down. Well, actually, more or less for if the grid does go down, because as Americans, we depend on our grid, on our plumbing, our electrical grid, all that stuff. We depend on that, and that's actually, I mean, it makes for a great way of life, and I thank God that that I was born in America and that I'm American. But also, it can be dangerous at times, because if you live what I like to call American bubble, if you're one of those that live in a bubble in America, and you don't think anything's ever going to happen to you, you don't think your power can go out for 2 weeks, you don't think your water could stop coming out of the faucet, if you don't prepare yourself for those things, I consider yourself as living in a bubble. And that's the talk me and my wife had several years back about. We can't get caught up in that bubble. We have to start preparing for situations in life, because we have a family that we have to take care of, and we're not going to be stuck and be dependent on our government to take care of us when something like that happens. So we teamed up and we started. She agreed we needed to start doing some long-term food storage, some water supplies. We bought a generator just for if the power grid did go down, and it did go down several years back. We had a bad ice storm out here in Oklahoma, and everybody in northeast Oklahoma seems like they were without power for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time, and it was a bad deal. But thankfully, I was prepared. I had my propane ready. We had natural gas. We made sure we bought a house that had natural gas hookups. So we had hot running water where we could take warm baths, stuff that you take for granted when you have it every day, and then when you don't have it, you're missing it. So we was able to boil water. We was able to heat the house with the natural gas. I was able to cook on propane outside, because we did have an electric stove. So we were prepared for the situation. And I know a lot of my friends and family weren't prepared, and we took in several family members and helped them through those 3-4 weeks that we were without power. That's just one instance that my preparedness came into play. And that's the things that we prepare for. We're not necessarily preparing for end of times or a zombie takeover or anything like that. I'm not that far-fetched out there where I think that's going to happen. But as I said, we live in a fallen world today, and the possible of World War III is on the verge. So you guys, if you're watching this video today and you're not real familiar with prepping and survivalism or homesteading, start watching some videos on that stuff, and you guys can see the benefits in it. So that's how we got started. We got started prepping, you might say, as far as long-term food storage and all that. Well, then we decided we want to get out of the city. After that ice storm, we got stuck in the city, and everyone was going crazy because there was no power. I'll tell you what, out here in Oklahoma, if the news says there's about a 1/2 inch of snow coming, People freak out. It's like World War III in Walmart. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So so we decide, hey, we need to get out of the city, because what if you're without power for 2 or 3 months in the city, and all those people that aren't prepared, they know you're prepared, and they come after you and your supplies, and threat your family. So we bought us some land out in the country, out of town. We started raising sheep. We start raising hogs. We have rabbits. We have chickens. We have bees, like you see back behind me. We get their honey. We have all sorts of. We have a garden. We have all sorts of things that help us survive in any situation, just life in general. But so that's how we got started, like you might say, homesteading. And I don't really like to call myself a homesteader or a prepper or a survivalist. I like to consider myself just a realist. Just that I know the reality of this world and how quick things can change for you. You could be living the high life one second, and you could be down the gutters the next. So I like to consider myself a realist, you might say. But one of the questions were, what do you think would survive longer, homesteader or survivalist slash prepper? In my personal opinion, a homesteader and prepper and survivalist, they're all kind of in one. But if you're strictly just a survivalist slash prepper, I believe you're going to survive for a certain amount of time that your supplies allow you to survive. On comparison to a homesteader, if you're homesteading and you have all the animals I named off, and you have your garden, and you have your root cellar with stocked with food and stuff, you have continuous cycles of resources coming in, and you're not having to go off your place and find these things, because you're growing them all right there. So in my opinion, I believe a homesteader might last longer when crap hits the fan. That's my personal opinion. But one of the other questions were, what is your weakness and what is one of your strengths? So I'll go with one of my strengths when it comes to world situations that might happen. I surround myself with like-minded people. We have a little network of people that we communicate with each other, and we talk about certain situations happening, where we're going to meet up and stuff like that. So my strength would be the community that I have. And one of my weaknesses would be I have a big heart, and for me to have people come to me that aren't in our network needing help, it'd be hard for me to turn them down. So that's why I would have to rely on my community of like-minded people I surround myself with, put me in check and say, look, we can't take any more people, stuff like that. So I consider my kindness would be one of my weaknesses at times. So all right, I'm gonna do a couple. That's what I got for you guys. Just respond to that tag Jason from Big Bear gave me. Now I'm gonna give 2 tags. One's gonna be to Lone Star Living. He's down in Texas. And I got the same question for you as Jason and Brad had, is what came first, prepping, homesteading, survivalism, and what's some of your strengths and weaknesses in that scenario? And also I want to tag Pratt Family Homestead. The same question for you guys. What came first for you guys? Was it prepping slash survivalism, or was it your homestead? I know you guys live on a nice homestead and have I seen a maple syrup video you did. That'd be an awesome resource to trade out, I guess. But what came first, and what's some of your guys' weakness for both of you guys, Lone Star Living and Pratt Family Homestead? What's your weakness and strength? All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and if you guys liked it, please hit that like button right there. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I just ask you please subscribe. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.